To LIVENODING. In this episode, I want to show you how I created this dancing cactus toy. So it's basically doing like a spin, right? So you might have seen something like this on the internet. It's basically this dancing plush cactus. So it's really famous, and you can actually buy this cactus. There's a lot of variations, but I'm really interested with the motions. I know that the fact that the motion is just like a circular, like a three different bones, each one of them kind of moving in three different offset. So this is exactly what's happening, and I created this using geometry nodes. You can perhaps do similar thing using just driver, but I want to show you the breakdown anyway. So the cactus is okay. There's the mesh that is currently driven by armature bones, okay, and underneath is this this bone, and I can show it to you. Okay, so the bones it's moving. It's driven by something, and that bones is actually driven by a curve. Okay, so if I select the bone once again, you can see the top bones have some kind of constraint, and the bone constraint is Spline IK, which is driven by a curve called alpha. And this alpha is basically geometry nodes that has been converted into curve in real time by using SKETCHFAB. Okay, so we have control over the curve basically, okay, and the curve itself is moving in the circular fashion, and we have the curve being generated using geometry nodes. So when I created the curve, it is basically like three different points. So this is a curve with three different points, and then I set the position of each curve points based on these three different vector. Okay, so I really have a lot of control over the position and the rotations, and also kind of like the offset. I think this is the middle part will control the cactus, kind of like how far it goes and how fast also. So if I draw this very quickly, it's basically, so these three three different node groups is three different points, and this is the curve that's driving the bones, and each one of them is rotating, kind of like if your body is making like a motion, like if you want to control like a hula hoop. So you're like this person in the middle, and then you want to make that kind of motions like the cactus. Okay, so the 3 points is actually these three different node group. They are all the same, but inside it, we have like a single points. I started with a single points in space, and then I transform it twice. The first one is translating the position of the points. The second one is rotating the points. You should try this yourself. Basically, use two different transform. The first one translation, the second one rotations, and then you will start to understand what's going on. Anyway, three different vector positions. I join them together and transfer the attributes into the curve lines, and then I resample the curve, and I actually have noise here. The noise is actually adding a little bit to the motion, so it's kind of more like a stop motion kind of noise. without the noise, it's just simply gonna make this circular motion. But with the noise, you're gonna have like something extra, kind of like a jerkiness. I think it was working before. Yeah, anyway, the noise might need to be animated. Yeah, this kind of jerkiness is actually adding something. Probably not so obvious at the moment. Well, anyway, you got the idea. The output is actually becoming this curve over here, and that's the curve that's driving the spline IK for the bones. Okay, so there's a lot of things going on with the bones itself. Okay, let me show you. I think the armature, I better just show this at the front for now. Originally, this is how it looks like. It's totally like straight bones. I draw the bones, and yeah, I create the branches, and I simply apply the IK spline, so it's suddenly rotating like this. This bones is actually converted into polygon edge and then turned into geometry nodes. And I have a feeling if I make this into a video tutorial, it's probably easier to explain, because instead of doing the breakdown, I need to build this from scratch. But I think you should get the idea. Anyway, it's pretty simple. You can yeah, for the painting, I simply use the sculpt mode and do the paint. So I can, it's actually really fun, this part. Just like the cactus, got these red lips. I can do the same thing for the back. Yeah, at the moment it's kind of touching each other. Let's say, okay, the eyeballs. I like to draw it like yellow color first, and give it this is the color of the eyes. It's making it looking crazy. And give it a black color in the middle. Like eyeballs normally have the black part, and the white part is just the light. Okay, so now we have this rotating cactus. Okay, so we can, yeah, like I said, the cube, this geometry nodes is doing the job for us. It's doing the rotations. So I need to maybe control this a little bit more. So first of all, there's the offset of the rotations, and there is also how far it goes to the left or to the right. Okay, I think this is probably better. It's more just like the original cactus. Just check it out. This cactus is really famous. I think it's probably copyrighted. However, I don't know. But I like the motions, and I want to make the AR versions. I don't know. I think, yeah. So I came out with this. This part, okay, I forgot to mention, this part is actually from the armature. Like I said, I actually draw the armature first before I make the cactus. So this is the result. The cactus is based on the bones positions, and also randomize the radius points along the bones, and then I create a volume out of that. And anyway, this is the result. Because this is based on the bones totally, this means I can just recreate another cactus very quickly with a different design. Okay, maybe this one is thicker. So I'm gonna duplicate this, convert it into mesh. We have second cactus. I'll hide the first one. Just gonna bind it into the bones. Oh, I forgot. Geometry nodes cannot be driven by bones. You need to convert it into mesh first, and then you apply automatic weight to the cactus. Okay, so again, we need to texture this guy, sculpt mode. This is actually really fun. This part is really fun. I always think, okay, painting is like a 3D therapy. Whatever, like whether you are using grease pencil or actually painting 3D texture, that's the most fun part. If you are like a 3D animators, normally you are just driving the bones and controlling the bones to make the animations. With this one, if you actually understand what's going on, if you are painting the actual model for the character, this is the most fun of the process. What I mean is that many 3D animators says they cannot draw. Okay, so that's why it's really frustrating sometimes, because animators actually, I believe every animators can actually draw. They're not just driving motions. So I think being able to paint something on the character itself, it's a huge deal. Okay. Yeah, so hopefully you find this interesting and useful. Again, it's just an armature driving some kind of design. It's all procedurally modeled, and then we have some kind of kinetic ability using the Spline IK to drive the bones using geometry nodes. So in the end, we have this cactus. Okay, the second one is still rotating, but it's inside it. I think there's also a way just to move this, maybe using geometry nodes. I don't know if geometry nodes can actually transform. It might be able to, There you go. Yeah, it's really weird. But geometry nodes is more like a pose modifier. You cannot drive geometry nodes with Armature, but you can totally drive the resulting mesh. You just shift it to the left using geometry nodes. Okay, so hopefully you find this useful. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.